Titans number 24, Dan Abnett writing, Brent Peoples on the art. So once again, we have the Titans crew going out to like an anomaly that's happening
Mhm.
because of the source wall breaking and all the energy spilling out, and we get this really unique. Well, kind of unique. It's basically there's this old man in the park who
Mhm.
he was a teacher and he used to run like D&D campaigns for his students after class, but before all that he tried his hand at writing some books. He wrote some fantasy novels, and the villains that show up, that at first I thought these feel like really generic villains, ended
Yep.
up being like intentional, because the point was that they were actually the villains from his fantasy books that came to life, because he got hit with this meta power and all of his creations were starting to come to life and attack. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's unique.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of
Yeah.
into that. Okay, that's kind of
I
cool.
if this is what we're gonna get more of them going and finding these people, and we're gonna get these new kinds of powers
Hmm.
like this, where this guy basically creates a pocket dimension where his books are reality and he interacts with them, and they're not actually villains, right? They're just so when the Titans go and meet this invading force, they claim that Earth's invading their realm, and they're
Yeah.
just defending it. And so we get some fun fight scenes, but overall, it's like they're just kind of going through the motions. And they send Raven and who else to go talk with the uh, old guy
Miss Martian, I
and
think, was it not?
Miss Martian. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So to deal with it that way while they handle all these creatures that are out. And the one part that I really loved is when one of the creatures sees the old guy that created him
Mm-hmm.
and treats him like he just saw, like, not a celebrity but like a demigod.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, look who it is. Like, it was so cool. And Beast Boy doing his quips and
Yeah, because
whatnot.
at one point, like an evil unicorn comes out the portal.
Yep.
So Beast Boy's like, "Oh, two can play this game," and we get like unicorn duel with the horns.
Yep.
It was
There's also some
fun.
some Lord of the Ring disparaging going on, which I'm not adverse to.
Yeah, and also, so
So,
the main dude though, the main sort of villainous dude that comes out,
mhm.
the creation, he kind
French
of
travesty.
was that his name?
Yeah,
Uh,
French travesty.
There you go.
I will not forget that name.
So, oh yeah, Prince Travesty, you're right. And he sort of like says, "Oh, people here are so beautiful," and he's looking at Raven and Nightwing at this point, right? And then
Yep.
later down this same page, this book legitimately made me laugh out loud. At the bottom of this page, because he realizes that Raven can kind of read minds, and he's like, "You're reading my mind. What am I
Yep.
thinking now?" And she's like, "Oh God, that is the filthiest thing I've ever." And Nightwing yells out, "That's it, back off." And then Raven yells out, "How dare you imagine Nightwing in that sort of position?" And Nightwing's like, "What?"
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and right before that, Nightwing goes, "Oh God, it's like being clubbed to death with a Similarian." And I was just like, "Oh my God, that's what it's like watching those movies for me."
Yeah, it
So,
really made me laugh
uh,
because the joke works really well because you assume
mhm.
that she's offended because she's seen herself in some sort of weird sex thing,
Yeah, no,
and it's
but
like,
it's Nightwing.
how dare you think of Nightwing like that? And Nightwing's like,
Mhm.
what? What's he thinking? What's happening?
Yep.
So no, that was really good. That was really funny.
Hmm.
And like I say, the action here's pretty good. There's like moments they try to talk to the old man, and then like more things keep coming at them, and like Steel just sort of like swoops down and like whacks something with a big hammer.
Yeah,
And
that's always
it's
fun.
fun. Yeah, and the big twist at the end of the issue though, and this one has a bit more lasting impact than the last issue,
Yeah.
because they think they've closed it, they think they've dealt with it,
Yep.
and taken it from his mind. But it turns out Prince Travesty is actually like taking place of Raven. Raven's now trapped in the pocket dimension, and Prince Travesty is hanging out at the writer's apartment.
Yep.
So, which is actually, it's good because Raven felt a little bit weird, like at the end of this when they thought they'd solved
Yeah.
everything, and Raven's talking to them. Our dialogue just felt a little bit off, and I just kind of I was like, oh, it's whatever. It's just Abnett's just made a bit of a flub. But no, much like the Bendis issue of Superman, it's intentional because then we find out that it's not actually her. She swapped places with the evil dude.
Yep.
So there's a lasting effect here. We actually do have this villain lingering, and Raven's trapped in a pocket dimension. So obviously we're going to have to deal with that. But uh, it's
It
it's good stuff.
it weirdly reminded me of John's first run on Flash with both the pocket dimension and then like the fantasy dimension
Mm.
with brother, what was his name, Brother Grimm. So
Mm.
like
Yeah, yeah.
it feels like it's rooted in that kind of character, and I'm all for that. I like those types that break from the traditional villain. So, and this guy doesn't seem like he's a straight up villain. He seems like he's chaotic, but he's neutral. Like he's we'll see where it goes. I definitely see him being a thorn in the side,
Oh yeah.
but
Well, they're
you
definitely
know,
going to be happy that he swapped places with Raven and left her trapped in
yeah,
a pocket dimension. That's for
hey,
sure. But no, I had fun with this. I mean, these two
yeah,
issues since we've this sort of relaunch, if you will, of Titans has been good fun. Them being this crew that goes out in response to these things, and if they're starting to add in more serialized elements, like Miss Martian trying to gain Nightwing's trust, like now Raven being trapped in this pocket dimension, this villain's still out and about. I'm like, okay, I'm having fun with this. It's not necessarily the most like exciting book of the week or anything like that, but it's like I had fun
yeah,
reading it. I was excited to read it. So
yeah. I like this one more than the last one, and this was the one that's going to keep me reading to see where it's going to go.
mm,
But yeah, no, this one was just a lot of fun.
yeah,
So if we're gonna get more of these, then yeah, keep it coming.
and that was pretty solid as well. I thought
Yeah, that was. I
so.
mean, Beast Boy turning into a unicorn to fight an evil unicorn. Like, come on.
Yeah,
So
that is it's,
yeah,
it's good. So what'd you rate it? What'd you rate Titans?
it's a solid 7.5.
I'll go with an 8. I'll go a little bit higher.
There you go.
Be a touch more on the positive side.